Dr. Essman. Very punctual, good. Don't take a seat. This will be quick. My sentinels tell me you have some...
Just goes to show, all the power in the world still can't protect you from a knife in the back.
Interesting ideas can be useful in the right hands. Especially now that our partnership with the Order has become... fraught. We may need our own version of their pacifying doctrine.
Oh, so I do have a germ of an idea. A less grand version of the grand plan. Instead of atoms and particles and such, it's made up of us. All doing our part, like cogs in a machine.
Interesting. A system where every subject believes they have a role to play. Enthusiastic obedience. Why, the Sovereign and I were thinking of this very thing. What should we call it?
Well, I'm not sure. It's still just a germ of a concept, of a hint of an idea, you see. It's a whole new way of thinking. A new model of society. Quite the paradigm shift.
Paradigm. Very good, Essman. Say, you look frazzled, troubled by your own thoughts. Why don't you report to mental refreshment? My staff will personally see to your well-being.
Ah, the distinguished presiding bishop herself has deigned to join us. What a charming surprise.
Don't overlook the main attraction, dear. I even wore my finest battle attire.
I might have known you'd conspire with our enemy and lead some foolhardy crusade against me. Loyalty has eluded you for years, after all. Sentinels, if you would.
Forming an alliance was necessary to combat the irrationality of your foolish endeavor. Those who fail to show reason do not deserve to lead this colony. Now, stand down.
I will not. I am saving this colony from itself and ridding it entirely of traitors and trespassers like you. I'm not interested in what you've acquired by sleight of hand or whatever other sordid means, Commander. Yes, I know well who you are. In any other situation, I might be compelled to take you apart and see how precisely it is you operate, but time, it would seem, isn't on your side. You are a relic of an impotent institution, propelled forward by nothing more than luck and foolhardy metal. Indeed, rarely are there enough measures to keep the most tenacious of sprats from gnawing their way in. I've been following your progress closely, you know, since you so unceremoniously tampered with our Vox relay on Paradise Island. When you began your dealings with the Order and the Corporatists, I thought that perhaps having a chaotic element in their midst could work in our favor. But now you're here, scurrying around my ship and attempting to thwart the Protectorate yet again. You think yourself clever, don't you? The Sovereign is indisposed, leaving myself as the sole custodian of Arcadia. What's his is mine. And the victory I inevitably clench over you, over anyone, will be his in turn, even if he's not here to bask in it. Such bravado is unbecoming when you can't make good on your promises, Commander. Tell me, did you manage to stop us from bringing your peace talks to a swift end? As I recall, Greater Tranquility was reduced to little more than mangled ruins in a single moment.
Greater Tranquility Station was a test?
It was a modest success. I had hoped it'd hobble Auntie's choice in the Order once and for all, but it has proven to be a valuable lesson in patience. I was able to buy the time to enact the very plan before you. Though, judging from that vacant expression on your face, it would appear you've no idea what I intend. Very well. Once the rift destroys Arcadia, we shall edit the information stored within it and use the modulator to reshape our colony into its perfect form. Horizon Point's destruction all those years ago was a tragedy, yes, but without it, we might never have opened our eyes to our true purpose and the possibility of Arcadia's rebirth. When the matriarch discovered the first skip drive, she set us on a course to elevate humanity. We're now writing our path, and I will do my part as the architect intended. I cannot blame you people for clinging to the ill-gotten authority you've wielded for so long. But your lot will now be one of disappointment. This future is what is owed to us. In the matriarch's younger years, she discovered a crashed ship deep in the Earth. And in it, the very first skip drive known to humanity. She dissected this tech, learned its secrets, and enabled us to produce them en masse. And, well, that eventually led to the manifestation of rifts. But it was not until well after Horizon Point's untimely end that we understood the opportunity gifted us. The opportunity to reconstruct the colony in its perfect form. It is as the Grand Architect designed. And believe you me, I've no intention of letting you thwart our securing of a better future. One free of doubt and greed. I've found when most people haven't a leg to stand on, they fall back into performative insouciance in an attempt to redirect the conversation. Always brazen, rarely effective. Listen closely. This is the work of the Grand Plan, guiding us toward humanity's ascension. Everything exists for this purpose. Since you took your time scurrying about my ship, presumably rifling through our things, I assume you also found information about the far-off rifts in untraversed space. That alone should tell you that we don't make our own circumstances. It seems they were made by the ship our matriarch found. A curiosity, isn't it? Without this discovery, we may never have realized the power we now possess with the rifts. Yes, the great architect works in mysterious ways. What else can I do but what is bidden? It's your time that's running out, not mine. So go on, tell me all the ways I'm wrong. Better yet, tell the whole room how His Eminence, the Sovereign, was wrong. This was originally his plan, after all. I am merely a partner, seeing it carried out. Yes, well, we also lost the support of the Order, but can one truly call that a loss? We would have drowned already in the seas of war with the weight of their inaction around our necks.
Reality would dispute that fact, given that it is I who has invaded your sanctum, and not the other way around. The Order has always been the Protectorate's more capable half.
I can scarcely recognize the Bishop standing in front of me. To think that I welcomed your ascension all those years ago. Orla was at least amenable, moldable, teachable. But you've been nothing but disappointment. You're so busy chasing figments of the future, you don't even know they're leading you off the side of a cliff.
To a man of such expansive pride, all perceived slights become personal. Recall, Emery, that we once worked together toward the same aims. You made us enemies when you started down this unconscionable deviation from what is best for Arcadia.
I will not be blamed for your treacherous actions. A true Protectorate subject knows that adhering to the Sovereign's words is what's best for Arcadia. And you were never true. The same can be said for any subject who wavers. They are dead weight, and we must cast them off straight away. Once I win the war and leave those naysayers behind, harsh action will be swiftly forgotten. And once I provide for the needs of my subjects, I will have them forever.
Commander's right. Protectorate's been burning its own for too long to stay woke. This war just made the flames more noticeable.
And our devotion must be tested by fire, as it is said, else it is not true. You are clearly ill-equipped to speak on Arcadian affairs, or of what truly matters to its subjects. I alone can give them what they need. You must see that. For every traitor in our midst, thousands of loyalists remain. If anyone attempts to move against me, they are merely announcing themselves as the chaff to be cut. And they promptly will be. What are you saying? No. This is a preposterous assertion. You don't know what you're speaking of.
I'm the agent who was sent to Horizon Point to sabotage the Protectorate's experiments. Some in the Order believe the experiments would lead to catastrophe if left unchecked. Indeed, if I hadn't destroyed the station, your ilk would have destroyed the entire fabric of reality. And I've suffered with that truth for 10 years.
The operation she speaks of was indeed conducted by members of the Order. But these were rogue elements. They defied my own determinations. They were not catalyzed by them.
Then the Order's treachery runs even deeper than we thought. There will be swift recompense for this humiliation. Of that you can be certain. What could be more important than treason? Is this where you provide compelling evidence against my plan? Go on then. Let's hear it.
Madness is rarely apparent to one in its throes. I wonder, would you even be capable of hearing facts if we offered them?
I am the chosen shepherd of Arcadia and will not be spoken to like this. I am only doing what I must to restore this colony to what our matriarch envisioned. Free of war, strife, heresy. You must know that you have little chance of swaying me. I will not be distracted from taking what is owed to us. And what is your definition of wrong? Have you anything substantial to back such a claim? I see. Well, the man was always a cynic. I find that attitude can skew results even more than a thumb on the scale might. One data point means little. The Protectorate was clearly meant to harness this power. Nothing you claim can disprove everything that points to this reality. I will not be lectured by an outsider. It's just like the Earth Directorate, or any other interloper, to claim to better know the customs of those they invade. Certainly if you had your way, you would claim Arcadia as yours, and rewrite history to suit your own aims.
It's true. Your matriarch suspected the Protectorate was doomed from the get-go. Reuben was mucking things up even before his mother's body was cold.
No, Reuben would not have gone against her. He was a stalwart protector of Arcadia to the end. We could all see his devotion. If he even attempted to bastardize the Protectorate cause, then we will have undone all of the matriarch's work.
She said as much in her correspondence with the First Bishop, that the Arcadian experiment would only prevail so long as hubris was staved off. I have the record, if you wish to see it.
The matriarch hid her feelings well. Such correspondence had been lost to us, I thought. And now it appears we have fallen prey to the very thing she warned of. But surely it cannot be possible that I've gotten this wrong. All your so-called arguments are pure hearsay. It doesn't matter what you bring before me. I stand firm in the knowledge that I am following the grand plan, and that I will be vindicated. And leave the traitors and invaders alive? No! Death is the only way forward. We can only be made pure from the ashes, despite whatever supposed proof you have to the contrary. Claim? If you cannot see the truth of my devotion written plain, then now I see why you are against me so. But you are wrong about the risk. We are losing this war. It is inevitable. The victors will brutally subdue us until we become corrupted. Until we forget our principles, our history, the very core of who we are. It is better that we perish together as proud Protectorate, proud Arcadians. Preserving our purity is a mercy. More than that, is it not love? But what use is living if your very framework for existence is in jeopardy? Oh, Matriarch, guide me. I think I see now. The Matriarch spoke of this in her writings. The follies of focusing so deeply on such a framework and losing sight of its pieces. And I fear I have. There may yet be other ways to save my beloved Arcadia, but I cannot be the one to see them to their completion. I surrender. What? Oh, by the Matriarch. It seems we have a problem. The rift has... well, it has nearly destabilized completely, and the modulator cannot close it in its current state from a safe distance. Destruction of Arcadia is imminent. Architect, help us.
There is. Though given your tenacity in preventing bloodshed, I don't believe you'll appreciate it. A chance yet remains. We must bring the modulator as close to the rift as possible. However, when the rift folds in on itself, this ship and its operator will not survive.
And carry the two. Yes. According to my field calculations, I estimate a 91.61% chance of complete discorporation.
Oh, Emery, taking a page from Auntie's choice product testing, I see. We do try to avoid a consistent certainty of death, though. It's just bad business.
Let me be clear. I am not placing this burden upon your shoulders. This was my doing. And so it is my responsibility to set things right. I will give you time to vacate the ship. When you are clear, I will fly it into the rift myself. Think what you wish of me, but this is my responsibility. And that is something I will never shirk from.
I will accompany him and ensure all goes as planned. It's only right that I complete the very mission I came here for. Your goal here is the same as mine. Do not mistake that. But if this is an order, I will comply.
Now go. Make what's left of your existence count.
Damn right.
Let's get on with it then.
So, when the console was faced with the undeniable errors in his logic, he chose to save Arcadia by closing the rift himself. He died hoping his sacrifice might make up for the disastrous decisions he had made. Thanks to the commander's quick thinking in sparing it from the Vox station's fiery crash, Paradise Island's Fairfield remained a profitable company town for Auntie's choice. For his outside-the-box thinking and innovative propaganda techniques, D.B. Milverstreet was promoted, while rival Officer Carr seethed at her lack of upward mobility, or even bronze-tier executive benefits. Vigilant Hogarth, now acclimated to Fairfield, leaned on the protectorate ideals of neighborliness, while overlooking all the authoritarian tactics, so he might help the Order to succeed with the equation. Auntie's choice assumed control over the day-to-day workings of Matriarch's Mercy, the better to monitor their new colleagues in the Order. The monastery, however, returned to normal operation, tracking the clockwork of the grand plan. The monastery's abbot became a scapegoat for recent tragic events, having not detected Wiley's dastardly schemes. His superiors demoted him, mainly to show their corporatist allies that academics could keep their people in line too. Seer Wiley fled the Order and sought refuge in a backwater Arcadian town to contemplate his failings. As word of the ex-seer's arrival spread, people lined up for predictions. Forsaking the math that failed him, he offered obvious yet effective advice instead. After defending Fort Endurance against a fierce Mantisaur attack, Executive Warchek was awarded a commendation for profit-securing stalwartness, as well as promotion to regional manager. He eventually passed peacefully in his sleep at the scientifically astounding age of 6. Val continued to serve the commander of the Incognito faithfully for many more years than should be possible, giving automechs like her everywhere a reputation as stable and reliable. As a result, more Valerie units were put into service, while fewer human agents were deployed into the field. As he rose through the Earth Directorate ranks, Niles pressed for a field directive to deploy the new Val units only when the situation posed significant risk. The policy reduced agent casualties by a significant margin. Oddly enough, in-office deaths increased by a not insignificant margin. Agent Niles Ibarra achieved the rank of commander, earning renown as a formidable agent, unafraid to challenge the status quo within the Earth Directorate. He recruited his friend Zebulon Tran to the Earth Directorate, a gesture of gratitude for not airing the Directorate's dirty laundry. Together, they vowed to reform the agency from within, so it might never again bargain with authoritarian governments. Ultimately, Niles rose to the position of Secretary General. His term saw the Earth Directorate at its most popular, or, in the eyes of corporations and tyrannical governments, most feared. Following Inez's humiliation of Auntie's Choice VP Willard Conan, the grafting program was shuttered forever. Inez ensured that all surviving grafted soldiers received full medical treatment and were compensated for their suffering. Those who died from the experiments were honored. Utilizing what he learned alongside the commander, Tristan attempted to reform Protectorate society from within. But with no authority figure to lead its subjects, the Protectorate was a shell of its former self. After thoughtful cogitation and calculation, Marisol slowly began to reject violence as the sole method for eliminating random variables. Not coincidentally, her social calendar began filling up. Asa finally achieved her dream of dying in a rift. All it took was a daring and blood-soaked heist of a modulator to create a rift that she then summarily leapt into. Thus Asa remained a fanatical member of the Glorious Dawn, spreading the truth of the rifts to her final agonized breath. With the modulator schematics shared as joint intellectual property, Auntie's Choice and the Order's partnership remained steady, despite the need for constant compromise. For a time, the Arcadia colony thrived. Auntie Cleo went through the motions of accommodating the Order, yet privately aspired to keep free trade anything but free. She began a new initiative. Any corporation or government that refused her trade conditions was promptly dealt with, either via takeover or strategic use of rifts. Auntie made her first public appearance in years, inspiring a fashion trend in bubble helmets. In no time at all, she won more public support than Ruth, which she sought to use as leverage when the time was right. Ruth Bassar proceeded to interface with the archive, an agonizing process that clawed away her lifespan. The archive computed that she was mistaken to compromise with the corporatists. To advance the plan, she needed to destroy them from within. So she proceeded to do just that. She had only been using the corporation for its logistical infrastructure. Auntie herself and at least some of her top executives needed to cease existing in Arcadia, either via assassination or skip-drive-assisted exile. Bassar stripped the power from the corporatists in subtle ways, until it was too late for them to stop her. Yet it remained unclear how long the Order could sustain its dominance once Ruth Bassar passed on to become one with the equation. Adrift without firm leadership, Protectorate subjects struggled with post-war life. A small band of hardliners collaborated to preserve their society in the face of Arcadia's new leadership. When Sovereign Varric was discovered in mental refreshment, the Order and Auntie's Choice bickered over what to do with him. They ultimately decided to announce his death, while letting him live the rest of his addled days behind closed doors aboard the undisputed claim. Until one day, Amos stumbled upon the Sovereign's private quarters and freed him, rocking the colony with a brief scandal. Despite the recent tumultuous events in Arcadia, It was business as usual for Free Market Station. Sub Rosa continued to supply the colony in the wake of the commander's actions. Unable to die in their sacred rift after it was closed, the Glorious Dawn heeded a new calling, seeking the modulators needed to create new rifts, so that they could die in those instead. The rifts across Arcadia and beyond were soon closed. Trade quickly resumed with Auntie's Choice handling logistics. Yet more than just goods and resources traveled the re-established trade routes. The Order's version of scientism spread as well. Many colonies stabilized, many thrived, and some even rose to an Arcadian level of prosperity. But there are still some that have never been heard from. All of these events turned on the decisive actions of the Earth Directorate agent and their unique way of navigating Arcadia, its disparate factions, social complexities, ubiquitous product placement, and arsenal of absurdly satisfying weaponry. But through it all, and to this day, Earth has remained inexplicably dark.